Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams, and with me is Vaibhav Jyotsna Srivastav with the evening news. The headlines. Cyclone Yas likely to intensify into very severe cyclonic storm in next 6 hours to reach near Odisha's Dhamra port by tomorrow morning. Odisha and West Bengal gear up to minimize the impact of the cyclone. Over 10 lakh people evacuated to safety in the two states so far. Number of COVID-19 daily cases slips below 2 lakh mark after nearly 40 days. Over 3,26,000 patients recover from coronavirus infection in past 24 hours. National recovery rate stands at 89.26%. More than 21.89 crore vaccine doses provided to states and union territories till now. Cabinet approves opening of a new Consulate General of India in Adu city of Maldives. Government releases 1,605 crore rupees to 8 northeastern states under Jal Jeevan Mission. 13% more wheat procured during current Rabi marketing season. Sports Ministry gives approval to open 143 Khelo India centres across 7 states in the country. And in cricket, BCCI cancels India's 2020 international series against South Africa in September this year. As the number of COVID cases is on the rise, we appeal to our listeners not to lower their guard, take all precautions, and all those above 45 years of age who have taken the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine to get vaccinated with the second dose at the scheduled time. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. The India Meteorological Department IMD has said that cyclonic storm Yas is very likely to move north-northwestwards, intensifying further into a very severe cyclonic storm during the next 6 hours. It would continue to move north-northwestwards, intensify further and reach near North Odisha coast, close to Dhamra port, by tomorrow early morning. Talking to AIR News, Director Forecasting in IMD, R.K. Jenamani, said it is very likely to cross North Odisha and West Bengal coasts between Paradeep and Sagar Island, close to north of Dhamra and south of Baleswar during tomorrow noon.
System will intensify further into very severe cyclone storm during next 6 hours, and it would reach to the North Odisha close to Dhamra port by early morning of 26th May. It is very likely to cross North Odisha, West Bengal coast between Paradeep and Sagar Island, close to north of Dhamra and south of Baleswar during noon on 26th. And under its impact, the severe weather are as follows. The heavy to very heavy rainfall and isolated extreme heavy rainfall likely tonight and tomorrow morning for the coastal district of Odisha and Medinapur and 24 Pargana.
The IMD has advised fishermen not to venture into the sea during the cyclonic storm. Director General of National Disaster Response Force, S.N. Pradhan, has said that lakhs of people are being evacuated in Odisha and West Bengal in view of Cyclone Yas. He said till now 8 lakh people have been evacuated in West Bengal and 2 lakh people have been evacuated in Odisha.
This is the highest ever deputation of NDRF in a cyclonic situation in both Odisha and West Bengal. In Odisha, the previous record of 50 teams was during Cyclone Foni, and in West Bengal, the previous record of 30-odd teams was during Cyclone Amphan last year. This time, West Bengal has 45 teams, which is a record so far, and Odisha has 52 teams. All this has happened as an extra measure of precaution and preparation because the central and the state governments, on the basis of lessons from the cyclones in the past, including Cyclone Taukte, are very focused on minimizing damage to life and property and targeting zero casualty.
Odisha and West Bengal have geared up to minimize the impact of Cyclone Yas. The Odisha government has deployed over 400 teams, including 52 teams of NDRF for rescue, relief and restoration operations in the cyclone-prone areas. Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik today reviewed the cyclone preparedness in the concerned districts and directed the officials to monitor the activities on a regular basis. More from our Bhubaneswar correspondent.
While Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik has again appealed to the people to cooperate with the state administration in mitigating the impact of the impending cyclone, Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan today talked to the Governor and President of Odisha branch of the Indian Red Cross Society, Professor Ganesi Lal, and assured him of all help to the Red Cross Odisha for rescue and relief operations in the areas likely to be impacted by the cyclone. Union Minister Mr. Pradhan and Union Minister Pratap Chandra Sarangi are in constant touch with the various stakeholders to help the state ease out of the cyclonic impacts. About 4,500 pregnant women of the vulnerable areas with the probability of imminent delivery are also being safely shifted to the nearby hospitals. Girish Radal, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
As per the prediction of the Regional Meteorological Department, the coastal areas of East Medinipur and South 24 Parganas and West Bengal are likely to be the worst affected in view of Cyclone Yas. Kolkata will receive heavy rain with wind speed of 65 to 75 kilometers per hour, whereas extremely heavy rainfall has been predicted for East and West Medinipur. South 24 Parganas and western districts of the state, Bankura, Purulia, Jhargram and West Bardhaman are also expected to be battered by the impact of the cyclone with heavy to very heavy rainfall. A report from our Kolkata correspondent.
Strong tidal waves and gusty wind with moderate rain have been witnessed at Digha and surrounding areas of East Medinipur since this morning. In the Sundarbans area of North and South 24 Parganas, the water level of rivers has been on the rise, overflowing the river dams. In some areas of Hingolganj, river embankments were damaged and villages started to be flooded. The local administration is miking in different areas, requesting the people to take shelter in the relief camps. About 9 lakh people have already been evacuated from the low-lying and coastal areas in view of the severe cyclone Yas. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee herself has been monitoring the overall situation from the control room at the State Secretariat. Madhuparna Dhar Chaudhary, AIR News, Kolkata.
Minister for Ports, Shipping and Waterways Mansukh Mandavia reviewed the preparedness of all the major ports lying on the eastern coast of India in the wake of Cyclone Yas. Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways said that chairpersons of major ports briefed him about the measures that have been taken. The ministry said some of the measures that have been taken include setting up of 24/7 control room, issuing of advisory to shipping companies and operators, and clearing of entire port operational area of port users and workers. The nation continues to march strongly on its path of COVID recovery, with the number of daily cases slipping below the 2 lakh mark after nearly 40 days. In the last 24 hours, 1,96,427 fresh cases of COVID-19 were recorded nationwide. For the 12th consecutive day today, the number of patients discharged has outnumbered the number of new cases. Over 3,26,000 COVID patients successfully recovered from the infection in the past 24 hours. The recovery rate in the country has further improved to stand at 89.26%.
Minister of Development of North Eastern Region Dr. Jitendra Singh today convened an urgent meeting to discuss the recent COVID surge in North East. Dr. Jitendra Singh expressed concern that while in the last wave of the pandemic, the North Eastern region remained relatively unaffected by COVID-19. However, this year, in the last 2 weeks, northeastern states have suddenly started registering a steep rise in COVID cases. The minister advised for strict enforcement measures and extensive testing and contact tracing measures. A total of 1,568 new confirmed cases of coronavirus infection were reported in the national capital during the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to over 14,19,000. In the last 24 hours, more than 4,000 people recovered and 156 deaths were reported in the city.
Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Jairam Thakur has directed officers to take timely measures to control the spread of COVID-19. Expressing concern over COVID-related deaths in the state, the Chief Minister Jairam Thakur said an effective strategy should be devised to reduce deaths due to coronavirus. More from our correspondent.
As per the data released by the state government, 38% COVID deaths have been reported within 24 hours of hospitalization in this state, whereas 11.3 COVID patients lost their lives within 48 hours of admission in various hospitals. Chief Minister Jairam Thakur has expressed serious concern over these figures as it shows that 49.8 COVID patients died due to delay in seeking medical aid. Jairam Thakur directed the officers that special emphasis should be given to shift serious patients of home isolation to hospitals so that they can be treated on time. Sanjeev Sundaryal, AIR News, Shimla.
The centre has allocated over 43,000 vials of antifungal drug amphotericin B to all states and union territories for the treatment of mucormycosis in a span of just 4 days. Union Chemicals and Fertilizers Minister Sadananda Gowda informed that the government is committed towards ramping up the production of the antifungal drug to meet all requirements. He said additional 19,420 vials of amphotericin B was supplied to the states and union territories. Looking at the increased demand, the nation has recently witnessed a surge in the number of mucormycosis cases, and therefore the demand for the antifungal drug amphotericin has increased considerably. Our correspondent takes a detailed look at the causes, symptoms and cure of the fungal disease.
Mucormycosis, or as the people are naming it by its misnomer, the black fungus, is actually a disease caused by a very common group of fungi called Mucormycetes. This is a very common fungus readily found in soil and our environment. Here's what Director of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Dr. Randeep Guleria, has to say about it.
कई टर्म्स जो हैं वो मिसलीडिंग है और जिससे कंफ्यूजन ज्यादा हो जाता है। फंगल इन्फेक्शन अगर हम देखें तो इवन जो हम ब्लैक फंगस की बात करते हैं म्यूकोरमाइकोसिस की, एक्चुअली वो ब्लैक फंगस एक अलग फैमिली है। ब्लैक फंगस का नाम इस म्यूकोर के साथ इसलिए जुड़ गया क्योंकि जो इसका कल्चर होता है वो व्हाइट कलर का फंगल कॉलोनीज आती हैं। व्हाइट कलर की फंगल कॉलोनीज के साथ ऊपर ब्लैक डॉट्स आ जाती हैं और वो कल्चर में अगर वो थोड़े थोड़े ब्लैक डॉट्स दिखते हैं, इसलिए एक जनरल टर्म में ये ब्लैक फंगस का नाम इसको दे दिया गया। लेकिन अगर हम फंगल इन्फेक्शन की बात करें तो इन जनरल जो हम फंगल इन्फेक्शन देखते हैं वो या तो म्यूकोरमाइकोसिस होते हैं जो हम आजकल कह सकते हैं बहुत ज्यादा देखा जा रहा है, और फंगल इन्फेक्शन है जैसे कैंडिडा है, एक और फंगस इन्फेक्शन एस्परजिलोसिस, क्रिप्टोकोकस, हिस्टोप्लाज्मा, और एक और होता है कॉक्सिडोमाइकोसिस। इस टाइप के फंगल इन्फेक्शंस हैं।
Now, everyone among us need not fear infection from it, as this fungus can be easily overpowered by a person with strong to even average immunity. And above that, unlike virus, this does not spread through air and is not contagious.
म्यूकर जो है एक फंगस इन्फेक्शन है जो मेनली सॉइल में देखा जाता है, एनवायरनमेंट में है, और एक व्यक्ति से दूसरे व्यक्ति को वैसे नहीं फैलता है जैसे कोविड फैलता है। तो अगर एक व्यक्ति को म्यूकोरमाइकोसिस है वो और किसी व्यक्ति के साथ बैठा है तो ऐसा नहीं है कि उसको फंगल इन्फेक्शन उससे फैल जाएगा। दूसरा कि ये जो फंगल इन्फेक्शन है 90 to 95% जो पेशेंट्स हैं जिनमें पाया गया है उनमें या तो डायबिटीज है या साथ में स्टीरॉयड यूज किया गया है। जिन लोगों को डायबिटीज नहीं थी या जिन लोगों को स्टीरॉयड नहीं दिए गया उसमें ये बहुत रेयरली देखा गया है।
Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope today said that the state government has classified mucormycosis as a notified disease under the Epidemic Diseases Act 1897. The minister informed that there are 2,245 cases of this disease in the state. He also said that these patients will receive free treatment under the Mahatma Jyotiba Phule Jan Arogya Yojana under the state-run hospitals. More in this report.
Speaking after the review meeting on measures against corona and mucormycosis in Mumbai today, Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope said that mucormycosis has been declared as a notifiable disease by the government of Maharashtra. Therefore, records of every patient suffering from this infection will be registered. Also, under the Mahatma Jyotiba Phule Jan Arogya Yojana, mucormycosis patients will be provided free treatment, and 131 hospitals across the state have been notified for this. He added, the state government is making efforts to ensure that the rates fixed for the treatment of corona patients in private hospitals are applicable to the patients with mucormycosis and treated accordingly. Nivedita, AIR News, Mumbai.
The Indian Railways is continuously engaged in delivery of liquid medical oxygen to various states across the country. The Railways has delivered more than 17,000 tons of liquid medical oxygen to various states across the country so far. A report.
Railway Ministry has said 263 Oxygen Express trains have completed their journey so far and brought relief to various states. It said Railways is continuing its journey of bringing relief by delivering liquid medical oxygen to various states. Railways has informed that Oxygen Express trains moved 680 metric tons of oxygen relief from Odisha, West Bengal and Jharkhand in the last 12 hours before cyclone gets stronger. 8 Oxygen Express moved from the region. Oxygen relief by Oxygen Express reached out to 14 states so far. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Cyclone Yas likely to intensify into very severe cyclonic storm in next 6 hours to reach near Odisha's Dhamra port by tomorrow morning. Odisha and West Bengal gear up to minimize the impact of cyclone. Over 10 lakh people evacuated to safety in 2 states so far. Number of COVID-19 daily cases slipped below the 2 lakh mark after nearly 40 days. Over 3,26,000 patients recover from coronavirus infection in the past 24 hours. National recovery rate stands at 89.26%. More than 21.89 crore vaccine doses provided to states and union territories till now. Cabinet approves opening of a new Consulate General of India in Addu city of Maldives. Government releases 1,605 crore rupees to 8 northeastern states under Jal Jeevan Mission. 13% more wheat procured during the current Rabi marketing season. Sports Ministry gives approval to open 143 Khelo India centres across 7 states in the country. And in cricket, BCCI cancels India's T20 International Series against South Africa in September this year. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the evening news. India inched closer to the milestone of administering nearly 20 crore doses of COVID-19 vaccine as nearly 24,30,000 doses were given in the last 24 hours. The centre has said more than 1,77 lakh COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories to be administered. The Union Health Ministry said the centre has so far provided more than 21,89 lakh vaccine doses to them. The ministry said 7 lakh vaccine doses are in the pipeline and will be received by the states and union territories within the next 3 days. Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri today said the civil aviation sector is at the forefront of India's vaccine logistics. Mr. Puri said 40,60,000 vaccine doses were transported through flights yesterday. He added that since January this year, 19,36 lakh vaccine doses have been flown to 60 stations on over 1,000 flights.
The Union government has refuted a claim made through an image regarding the COVID-19 vaccination, which is circulating on the social media these days. Quoting a French Nobel laureate, Luc Montagnier, it has been claimed in the image that there is no chance of survival for people who have received any form of vaccine. Press Information Bureau, PIB of the Government of India, has termed this claim fake. The government has stressed that COVID-19 vaccines are completely safe. It has urged the people to avoid forwarding this image. In Jammu and Kashmir, Shopian District Administration has been tirelessly reaching out to people since the outbreak of the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic. During the prevailing difficult times, the administration has also been able to achieve 100% target of vaccinating the people above 45 years of age in the Apple District, Shopian of the Kashmir Valley. With this, Shopian has become the second district in the country after Jammu to have achieved 100% target in administering vaccination doses to its residents above 45 years of age. More from our correspondent.
The district administration Shopian worked relentlessly and sought the help of Awqaf committees to motivate the people for getting vaccinated against COVID-19 pandemic. Anganwadi workers, block level officers were deployed for house-to-house survey to ascertain the number of people aged above 45 years in each household in an effort to get the residents vaccinated and subsequently achieved 100% vaccination target. While talking to AR News Srinagar, Deputy Commissioner Shopian Sachin Kumar said,
हमें जो टारगेट था हमारा उससे हम ज्यादा ही अचीव कर लिए हैं, पर वो हेड काउंट के हिसाब से अगर देखा जाए तो हमारी जो टीमें थी उन्होंने वेरीफाई भी किया है, तो हमने अचीव कर लिया है सभी का, जितने लोग हैं लगभग 45 से 60 के बीच में जो था वो लगभग 60,000 का टारगेट था.
Sunil Kohl for AR News from Srinagar.
The Food Corporation of India, FCI, has so far supplied 48 lakh metric tons free food grains to all 36 states and union territories under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, PMGKAY. Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution in a statement said the scheme of free distribution of food grains to beneficiaries under PMGKAY has provided a big relief to beneficiaries during the ongoing COVID pandemic period. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. Randeep Guleria, Director of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi, will participate in the discussion. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards.
The Union Cabinet has approved the opening of a new Consulate General of India at Maldives' Addu city this year. The opening of a Consulate General in Addu city will help augment India's diplomatic presence in Maldives and make it commensurate with the existing and aspired level of engagement. The Cabinet has granted ex post facto approval to the Memorandum of Understandings MOUs entered into by the Institute of Cost Accountants of India and the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. In another decision, the Cabinet has also cleared a proposal of the Union Home Ministry for the creation of a post of Director in Senior Administrative Grade at the National Disaster Response Force Academy in Nagpur. Union government today said that 13% more wheat has been procured during the current Rabi marketing season in comparison to the corresponding period last year. The Consumer Affairs Ministry said a quantity of over 390 lakh tons of wheat has been procured against the last year's corresponding purchase of 344 lakh tons. The ministry said about 40,81,000 farmers have already been benefited from the ongoing procurement operations with MSP value of over 77,159 crore rupees.
The Union Government has released 1,605 crore rupees to 8 northeastern states under the Jal Jeevan Mission to provide tap water supply to rural homes in the current financial year. The Jal Shakti Ministry said this is the first tranche of the 4 to be released in this financial year. There are about 90 lakh rural households in all the northeastern states, with maximum 63.35 lakh in Assam. The ministry said as on today, 16.27 lakh households in the region are getting tap water supply in these states in comparison to 3.2 lakh households in August 2019. In Maharashtra, the Enforcement Directorate ED today conducted 3 raids at the residence of Sagar Bhatewar from Shivaji Nagar, Samit Isaac from New Colony and Rohal Kadri from Jarfar Nagar in Nagpur, who are close associates of former Home Minister Anil Deshmukh. Sources said 3 associates of Deshmukh came under ED radar after their bank transactions linked them to the NCP leader and his family members. The ED has intensified its investigations in relation to the accusations made by former Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir Singh against Deshmukh.
President Ramnath Kovind and Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu have greeted the nation on the eve of Buddha Purnima. In his message, President Kovind said, "The teachings of Lord Buddha lead us onto the path of freedom from suffering and misery." He prayed that through solidarity and collective resolve, India may emerge successfully from this pandemic and continue to move steadfastly towards the well-being of people at large. The Vice President urged the citizens to celebrate this festival at home by adhering to COVID health and hygiene protocols.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will deliver a keynote address tomorrow at the international event organized to mark Buddha Purnima Divas. The event is being organized by the Ministry of Culture and International Buddhist Confederation. The Union Minister for Culture, Prahlad Singh Patel, and Minister of State for Minority Affairs, Kiren Rijiju, will also address the virtual event organized on the occasion of 2565th Buddha Purnima Divas.
6 Indian places have been added to the tentative list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The sites are Satpura Tiger Reserve in Madhya Pradesh, iconic riverfront of the historic city of Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh, megalithic site of Hirebenkal in Karnataka, Maratha military architecture in Maharashtra, Bheda Ghat, Lameta Ghat in Narmada Valley at Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh, and temples of Kanchipuram in Tamil Nadu. The Culture Ministry made the announcement recently. The submission for the list was made by the Archaeological Survey of India. Culture Minister Prahlad Singh Patel said India has several monuments which fulfill the parameters of UNESCO to be added to the list of heritage sites.
ये टेंटेटिव लिस्ट है. जब परमानेंट लिस्ट में हम जाएंगे तो डोजियर तैयार होगा. यूनेस्को के इस नियम का हमें ध्यान रखना होगा कि अब कोई भी देश एक साल में एक ही नॉमिनेशन कर सकता है परमानेंट लिस्ट के लिए. भारत जैसा देश जहां पर इतनी अपूर्व धरोहर है, मैं दावे के साथ ये बात कह सकता हूं कि यूनेस्को के जो पैरामीटर्स हैं उनको पूरा करने की सामर्थ्य भारत में सैकड़ों मॉन्यूमेंट में है.
Here is a report.
The iconic riverfront located in the ancient city of Varanasi has been competing for the UNESCO tag for several years now. The Ghat steps to the riverfront form a symbolic chain of the holy sites. The 6.5-kilometer long riverfront forms the eastern edge of Varanasi and possesses a unique history and presents a specific vision of a magnificent architectural row of lofty buildings and holy sites. There are 84 Ghats in total. The 5 most sacred Ghats are Assi, Dashashwamedh, Manikarnika, Panchganga and Adi Keshava. Diksha Saxena, CIR News, Delhi.
The Sports Ministry has given its approval to open 143 Khelo India centres across 7 states in the country with a total budget estimate of 14 crore 30 lakh rupees. The states include Maharashtra, Mizoram, Goa, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh and Manipur. These Khelo India centres will be entrusted with one sports discipline each. The financial assistance will be used for remuneration of the past champion athletes as coach, support staff, purchase of equipment, sports kits, consumables, participation in competition and events. The Board of Control for Cricket in India, BCCI, has decided to cancel India's T20 International Series against South Africa. The series was scheduled in September as a build-up to the Indian side's T20 World Cup preparations. BCCI sources said the decision to cancel the T20 series has been taken, keeping in mind the tight schedule ahead of the ICC T20 World Cup. They said there can't be any better preparation for the T20 World Cup than playing a high-intensity tournament like the Indian Premier League.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have a mainly clear sky. The temperature will hover between 22 and 39 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature will be 28, while the maximum is expected to be around 34 degrees Celsius. Chennai's temperature will vary between 29 and 35 degrees. Kolkata will have a generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. The minimum temperature will be 25 and the maximum will go up to 30 degrees. Jammu will have a mainly clear sky with the temperature hovering between 21 and 39 degrees. Srinagar's temperature will hover between 11 and 26 degrees. Leh will have a mainly clear sky with the temperature being between minimum and maximum of 3 and 20 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 11 and 30 degrees. Muzaffarabad will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be 16, whereas the maximum will be around 35 degrees.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Cyclone Yas likely to intensify into very severe cyclonic storm in next 6 hours to reach near Odisha's Dhamra port by tomorrow morning. Odisha and West Bengal gear up to minimize the impact of the cyclone. Over 10 lakh people evacuated to safety in the 2 states so far. Number of COVID-19 daily cases slips below 2 lakh mark after nearly 40 days. Over 3,26,000 patients recover from coronavirus infection in past 24 hours. National recovery rate stands at 89.26%. More than 21.89 crore vaccine doses provided to states and union territories till now. Cabinet approves opening of a new Consulate General of India in Addu city of Maldives. Government releases 1,605 crore rupees to 8 northeastern states under Jal Jeevan Mission, 13% more wheat procured during current Rabi marketing season. Sports Ministry gives approval to open 143 Khelo India centres across 7 states in the country. And in cricket, BCCI cancels India's 2020 international series against South Africa in September this year. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.